You're listening to the Business and Life Podcast, where 7 days a week, proven entrepreneurs share their success stories, failures, and give you true value on how you can build a great business and an awesome life. With your host, Mike Olivas.
All right, Justin, welcome to the show.
Hey, man. How's it going?
Going great. Thanks so much for your time here. Tell our listeners, something maybe interesting about yourself and also where you're calling in from today.
Yeah, so I'm Justin from New York. I own Virtua Computers and the ACES conference. This year, we're going to be combining it all to virtual consulting. We take care of IT for clients who have Macs, as well as I help consultants who have clients who have Macs. So I cover both the client side and the consulting side of it. So I'm covering that whole gamut, which is kind of cool. Something interesting, I make a mean risotto.
Yeah. Sweet. I love that. Reminds me of the Seinfeld episode about the risotto. But anyways, yeah. I love it. So if you're a Seinfeld fan, you probably know what it is, but it's probably not that PC. So tell me exactly what does the company do, or what kind of value does it bring on both levels? I think you have one. It sounds like you got to kind of build an ecosystem around assisting and also assisting others within the same demo.
Yeah. So when I first started out, one of the things I did was, because as an IT consultant, I happen to be what they call an ACN, an Apple consultant. I'm a member of the Apple Consultants Network. And so, like I said, we only deal with companies who have Macs. And when I first started out, one of the things I did was I would consult for other consultants. So I would go to their clients and help them out. And so I built up this whole, I like to call it a wheel around computers, right? So if you think about like a hub, the middle part would be computers and then all these spokes. So one of my spokes is helping clients. So we help small to medium businesses in the New York City metro area who have Macs, graphic design firms, nonprofits, things like that. Then I started doing presentations because I started an app company and I had some apps that were out called Sign My Pad was our big one, if anyone remembers that. And then that turned into doing presentations about how these IT consultants can leverage their IT knowledge to build apps and make some more money. That led into also running a conference called the ACES conference, which we're about to have our 6th one this coming year.
Nice.
And that was to teach consultants how to grow their business as IT consultants. And then we have a mastermind with that. So we're doing a smaller group to do more one-on-one. Now I'm going to launch later this year one-on-one consulting where I'm helping people with that. And we've spawned from there. So like I said, going back to that wheel theory, that middle part is computers, but I have clients and I have consultants and I have education, and I'm doing what we call 365 days of tips on our social media. We have an Alexa app. I build apps now for consultants. So we have an app called Your Computer Inventory that consultants can buy into to share their inventory with their clients. So all of these things spoke from that middle part to create this big wheel around computers, and especially Mac computers or Apple computers.
Right. It sounds like a lot of it has to do with also just the business aspect of it, right? Like how do you become more productive and productivity in terms of like you're creating apps to probably have better workflows, right? Better work orders, better processes, better, let's just say like standard operating procedures, if you will, but also like statement of work. I'm sure that's a pretty big deal in your guys' world. Like, here's what I'm doing.
Yeah, totally. So, we've had a couple of apps out there. So Sign My Pad was our big one. It was it was analog signature on a digital PDF. We then created like a social media blaster. Before that was like big, before Hootsuite and all of them.
Yeah.
We had like a parenting app. Then I created my first app called Email Phoenix, there's a very specific mail server called Kerio. It's a little older, but a lot of people in Europe still use it. They didn't provide an easy way to do like hot spare backup in case your server goes offline. So we built that. Now our new one, Your Computer Inventory, is another one, and we're working on a couple others to help these consultants with their process. Software development has been tough because I'm not a coder, and I've talked about this for years. That like, and this is what my business consulting part was also like. Learn how to outsource. I still highly believe in that, and being able to hire people. I mean, I'm very open. We hired people in India, but then the app world got messed up and it cost too much to build and whatever, but we still, outsource a lot of our coding and stuff like that to build part of these ecosystems.
So give us a little bit of you've been in the business for a while here. How long? When did you start the business?
So I started the first business, Virtua, about 12 years ago. So 2008, like right after the first recession.
So you've obviously had more than enough time to have some trials and tribulations in business. Tell us a time where you hit rock bottom, or you're close to rock bottom, and you were kind of able to overcome that disaster.
Every day. I think that's something. No, I mean, it's true, because I think so many, right? So many of us don't think about it, because like if you're growing your business and then you take a step back, that's rock bottom for that particular instance in time, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to say that like I've been super lucky. Our company has grown. Virtual Computers, the IT consulting for clients, has grown significantly. I mean, I've taken massive hits on other things. So for my software company, we created a contact app, and it took us a year to develop. And I dropped something like $80,000, and we sold one copy for $145.
Yeah.
You know, our first year doing the conference, I didn't know any better. I thought it was going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread for these folks. We took a room block for 250 rooms. We only had 50 attendees. I had to pay the hotel $20,000. So,
yeah.
But that was at that time. That was 6 years ago for that first year of the conference. Last year, we finally made money. We figured out the methodology. We just kept at it. My wife hates me for stressing out about it for an entire year.
Sure.
But, you know, every day is a learning experience. So I can't say that there's ever been, like, I've luckily never had a thing where like, oh no, I almost OD'd on drugs and I had to go to rehab.
Yeah,
like that's never happened, right? So like I can't necessarily claim rock bottom, quote unquote, for anyone. It's just whatever's happening in that instance at that time.
Yeah, the bottom line is going to be the challenges, but I mean, you've lost the cash, you've lost things like time, effort, and the assumption that you knew it was going to be. This is going to be the best thing since sliced bread. And all of a sudden, like, no, tech doesn't work that way. There's tests, there's A/B testing, there's betas. But I did the same thing. I dropped a lot of money on a first technology that realized, okay, it's not what I think, right? It's what the customer thinks of the client.
Exactly.
But without that, it wouldn't have been a success, right? It wouldn't have been where I am, where I've been able to get with the tech and being able to kind of scale things out over the past several years. But I think that definitely the lesson there is that it's a learning process and it's a risk process, and you kind of give and take, but there's no failures. There's only probably learning and understanding how to take it from there. Why do you think a lot of entrepreneurs out there, you know, in your opinion, Justin, why do you think they quit?
Sure.
Justin.
They quit because they either don't have the drive really, because especially in 2019, 2020, the word entrepreneur is the cool new thing to be, right? Yeah. Like, think about our parents' generation. I don't think you're much older than I am, but think about our parents' generation. Like, the entrepreneur wasn't a thing, right? Like, sure, the Roosevelts were entrepreneurs, but like, you know, my dad had a job. His dad had a job. Like, so now that, and we see, especially due to social media and YouTube, like that being an entrepreneur is so, people think it's so easy, and they fail to realize that, one, in order to be an entrepreneur, you have to have a product that sells and you have to be making money. And two, the definition of an entrepreneur is someone who has multiple ways of doing it, not just one business. So what I think, to answer your question, is that so many people quit because they don't realize that it actually takes work. I've been doing this for 12 years, and we're finally meshing our parts together. Every year we do the conference, I have one big takeaway. The first year was like, don't try to get a room block. The second year was like, don't have the sponsors on the other side of the hotel. The third year was like, keep the food warm all day. Like, you have to be able to take that and grow, right? Yeah. Like, if you can't handle that, and you think that just taking pictures of yourself and food on Instagram is you being an entrepreneur, that's not what it is. And that's why they quit.
That's a really good point. There's definitely, I think they just start hitting too many speed bumps, and at some point just, you know, call it a brick wall. And
yeah,
I think the drive factor is there too. If you're listening, guys, and you have the drive and the motivation, and you've done other things, all the way through fruition and seen that happen, I think that's what it takes, is being able to have a little bit of grit, right? And feeling like, listen, I got to get through this. Life Nation, we're all striving towards different goals. Maybe your goal is to finally quit the 8-to-5 grind, quit your job, or take the next step with your existing business. Whatever the goal may be, regardless of your reasons, if you are serious about taking the next step, and finally trying to build the life that you deserve, the life that you want to live, take the leap of faith. Go to michaellevis.com and let's discuss your goals and life. It's 100% free. There's no obligation. It's michaellevis.com. Schedule a quick call. I'd love to help.
Well, going on your speed bump thing, like the first thing that came to my mind when there's too many speed bumps, get a plane.
Yeah.
Like fly over them. Like
Yep.
you have to be able to figure out ways around it. And if you're stuck bump after bump after bump, like either A, pivot, or B, come up with a new plan to get over it. And I think I'm a business person. I'm an entrepreneur. I like the business side of IT consulting more than I like IT consulting because I don't want to tell people to. By the way, if you're listening, if you ever have a problem with your computer, just restart it. That's like always the answer. But the fact is being able to pivot and problem solve. That's what it's all about, right? Because if you want to be look at the head honcho at any company, right? Elon, right? Everyone talks about Elon Musk, right? What does he do all day? He's problem solving. He's figuring out solutions. Oh, we can't buy batteries. Let's make batteries. We can't buy a rocket. Let's build a rocket. Like, I'm using real broad terms here, but
sure,
that's the speed bump thing. You can't drive over the speed bumps because you have a 3-wheeled, Renault. Buy a plane.
Yep.
Don't buy a plane. If you can buy a plane, buy a plane. But the concept still holds.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree. What are you excited about within your industry and your business right now, Justin?
Oh, that's a tough one. Unfortunately, being in IT, there's nothing really excited to be about because, to be honest, IT is a scary thing. With everything that's happening in the world politically and hacks and encryptionware, I wouldn't say I'm excited for this, but I can see it on the curve is that we as human beings really need to start stepping up our game in terms of security for ourselves. I bet. I have an Alexa in every room. I'm assuming that level of risk, but at some point, you have to realize that you need to protect yourself. You need to be talking to professionals about scanning for your information on the dark web or using two-factor wherever you can use two-factor authentication. But at the same time, don't believe in the hype that you heard one guy got super hacked that it's going to happen to you, because my mom did that. And I was like, they don't care about you, Mom.
yeah, exactly. They're not trying to grab your information, right?
Yeah.
I hear you.
My mom doesn't have anything to grab.
Yeah, I hear you. So how are you currently, you've been an entrepreneur for 12 years here. You've dabbled in a couple of things, obviously the conference, as well as helping consultants as well. What's light at the end of the tunnel for you as an entrepreneur?
Sitting on a beach, getting a house with big glass windows so I can listen to the ocean all day. I don't know. The thing is this, I really like talking to people, which is why I'm on this podcast call with you, right? I love this kind of stuff. If I could do this all day long, I totally would. If I can get paid for it, it'd be great. Yeah. But I think my idea of growing, what I was saying in the beginning, this wheel of being able to build these different components that work, whether it's I hire enough people to manage the client IT part, and I have hire enough people to manage the conference, and I hire my programmers, and I can build this. My goal is to build a very big enterprise of a suite of services in the IT arena, especially around Apple, because that's the world that I live in. That would be my end goal. I mean, sure, I would love to own a plane and fly rockets and do whatever Elon or Jeff Bezos and all of them are doing, right? But we have to think about the ring below that, because those guys are geniuses and crazy and whatever. I might not be that level, and I have to be okay with that. So, I wouldn't mind I already have the domains for things like a car company and a winery and an energy company, parts that go with our brand, right? Because I want to do these things eventually. But maybe a 4-week sabbatical in Japan or something would be fun.
Well, yeah,
you can't think like that.
I think sometimes I just really that question to me is just to make sure that all of our listeners that are entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs possibly, that there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's not just work. There's a life behind it, and then the business kind of just is the engine, right? That is going to service the life. And you've been able to build something out. But obviously, I think it's very apparent, Justin, that you like the game of business, not just the IT world, right? And that's
for sure.
And I'm in the same business. I mean, I came into I started a company that's more around group travel, entertainment, and sure, it's fun and sexy. However, at the end of the day, now I'm talking about algorithms and really just nerdy shit that just nothing I've really ever thought I would be talking about, but I'm building out, right? And have like a 200-page specs document. Like, what is this? But I'm like, what's happening? Everyone else is just out partying, having a blast, and we're throwing these party events, and that's what we do. But you evolve, I think, as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, if you want to call it that. Doesn't matter really what it is at the end of the day, as long as you're not building yourself your own job and you're able to still enjoy life and realize that if you keep feeding the engine and you build that ecosystem that you're doing, obviously you're going to be able to obviously do that. Out of all your successes and failures in your business, what is the one piece of parting advice that you'd give to the Business and Life Nation out there listening to us today?
Don't give up. Ask for help. There's plenty of people who, even if you can't get help from, like, if you're looking at it as a ladder, the top rung, go for the person go for the person right above you. Like, I'll put it out there. Like, if you need help in your business, like, send me a DM, call me, email me, whatever. Like, I might not be necessarily, at the level of all the big entrepreneur names we've already dropped, but I think have a modicum of success to be able to help you through a problem. First off, I love problem solving. So, like, I'll gladly help anybody with their business before helping my own. But it's calling the kettle black, right? You get dating advice from the guy who's single all year long.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the biggest piece of advice is, like, do ask for help. That's what I'm trying to say. Do ask for help, and take the advice. If you come to me and you say, I want to be an Instagram influencer, like, cool, we can make that work, but that's not going to be entrepreneur. Like, if you have a business, you have an idea, you want to run with it, you want to make something. Like, I even wrote a book called Capitalize on Your Idea. It's on Amazon. I bought it 5 years ago. It's a little outdated, but it still works. It's a 100-page guide on how to, like, come up with an idea, build a website, and, like, sell your stuff. And, like, that works. Like, the method works. So, like, if you need help doing that method, or you want help with your business, like, ask for help. It's available. Whether you're calling Mike or you're calling me or someone, there's someone who can always help you.
Great advice. And Justin, where can people find you?
Oh, everywhere. So
just walk down New York and just look for Justin.
Yeah, just ask anyone on the street.
Do you guys know where Justin is?
I'm at Justin Esgar everywhere: Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. My personal page is down right now because we're redoing some stuff. But you can go over to virtuaconsultinggroup.com and find us there. That's Virtua, no L, virtuaconsultinggroup.com. You can find us there. Or I'm on, I guess this is a different version, but I'm in a lot of different people's Slacks. I'm everywhere. Just search Justin Esgar, ESGAR. You'll find me.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time today, Jason. Thanks for Justin. Thanks for giving your knowledge bombs and all the breakdown about the IT world and what you do. If you guys need someone, you got the website. You can check out the show notes. You'll take a look at Justin Esgar and find him there. Anything else you'd like to add, Justin?
I hope everybody has an amazing year, and go crush it. Go do something and crush something.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Life Nation, you got to remember that in order for things to change, you must change. And in order for things to get better, you must get better. You just got better by hanging out with me, Michael Libas, and the Business and Life Nation. So come back tomorrow because I'm here dropping sound bombs 7 days a week, baby. If you'd like to subscribe, please do, so you can take action and execute. See you tomorrow.